So
Mhm.
Tyler Herro was in the news this week because he said that LeBron James is the greatest Heat player in the history of the franchise and not Dwayne Wade. I'm going to ask you first. How do you feel about Tyler's Hero uh, assessment of LeBron James's 4 years in Miami?
Um, this one might bother you. I don't care. He he could have said he could have said Bosch. He could have said anybody. And it's the problem is it's just way too opinion based. I mean, like most, I'm sure most Heat fans are gonna say Dwayne Wade, especially Heat lifers. Okay, everybody's gonna say Dwayne Wade for the most part, but you can you can argue that while LeBron was there, LeBron was the greatest basketball player in the world for many years. And you could still say, maybe he's up there, and but for a long time, LeBron James was the best basketball player in the world. And he was on the Heat for, I mean, what, he get two championships?
He got in the 4 years they went to the finals four times and they got two championships out of that.
Okay. I mean, Dwayne Wade was there and he got one before him, of course, but I could see where someone could make the argument. I'm not saying I agree. And the context is supposed to be, I guess, the greatest Heat player of all time.
Yes,
Okay, so that seems like a little bit of a stretch to me because he didn't, of the legacy that Dwayne Wade had there. So, I mean, it's it's a, it's just too opinion based. Like it's just he can have that thought, and it's not the worst opinion I've ever heard, but it's like I don't necessarily agree with it. But I mean, it's LeBron James. That's the problem. Is that if it was anybody less, and they were like the guy there, even Durant, say it was anybody else, it's harder to make that argument. But with LeBron James being the best at the time when he was there, I can see how that kind of skews things. I mean, I know you don't agree with it at all, and I don't necessarily either, but I can see where someone, especially someone younger, might say LeBron James over Dwayne Wade, even though it's a little ignorant. But I can see the thought process there, I guess. So it doesn't necessarily surprise me. What surprises me is that after the season Tyler Hero had, people still give a shit about what he says. Because I don't give a fuck about that kid. He had one good year, and
oh my,
now people want to talk about him. Who gives a shit? Let's talk
oh my
to
God.
the reserve player on the Pacers for all I give a fuck. Like, who cares? I don't give a shit about Tyler Hero. Like, I don't care who his favorite player of all time is. He could think it's Kobe Bryant over Michael Jordan or something. Like another argument, but like I just don't give a shit about this guy at all. Let him play ball before we give a fuck about his out off court opinions. Why are we even talking to him at this point?
I don't even
Like it's
know where
off
the interview
season.
came from.
What's he doing? Must have been a
Well,
slow
well,
news week.
well, yeah, he's about to be a daddy, so that should be his focus. I don't even know
A
where the
single daddy because he
yeah,
cheated on
I
her.
I think they already broke up or something, right? Um, I
Next
think
Instagram model up.
oh boy, that vacation did you something well. So here's my breakdown of it. Okay, so yes, I'm a Heat fan. Yes, everybody knows I'm a Heat fan. Yes, I was a LeBron James hater before he came to Miami. I didn't want him there. It was strictly a business deal. And I hate him since he's left. Now, with that said, I think it was season two of the LeBron James experiment. And I can't remember what game I was watching, but I was like, holy shit, he truly is one of the greatest basketball players I've ever seen. This was season two. Um, but I always tell people, and I did this because, of course, I started watching the Heat in the morning and Hardaway years. I would tell people all the time, Alonzo Mourning's the greatest player in Miami Heat history. The day that Dwayne Wade retires, he will then be the greatest player in Miami Heat history, which he retired now, I think 3 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago. So he is and will always be the greatest player in Miami Heat history. LeBron's not even he wasn't around long enough. He just wasn't
Hmm.
to be put in that conversation. So is Wade and Alonzo Mourning, and then you can fight over Shaq, you can fight over Bosh, you can fight over LeBron. But on my Mount Rushmore of Miami Heat, of course, Pat Riley is coach, Wade, Alonzo Mourning, and then Eric Spoelstra, who's been there forever. So that's my Mount Rushmore of the Miami Heat. I kind of chuckled when I saw that Tyler Hero said that because I kind of chuckled. And like you said, he's a young kid. He doesn't know that Dwayne Wade, up until this year, had the greatest NBA Finals performance of all time. Thank you, Giannis. You took that one from me. Up until this year, okay? Because what Giannis just did was absolutely fucking phenomenal. But yeah, I thought the comment was a little stupid too. But yeah, I know, like you said, you don't give a fuck about Tyler here.
I was like, we're not even hearing from like a profound player. We're talking to a second year guard who fell off.
Yeah,
What
fell off
like
big. Yeah.
start winning again before I give a fuck about what you say. Shut up and dribble.
Oh man, not to shut up and dribble the Tyler Hero. Oh man, good God. That's probably what he told them too when they benched him. Like, just need to shut up and dribble.